Some developing news out of Columbus tonight. The scene now clear after federal authorities showed up to investigate an explosion inside of a pickup truck.
It happened early this afternoon on South 6th Street in South Columbus. 10 TV's Carly Dion talked to a neighbor about what she heard.
Tonight I spoke with a woman who lives in the neighborhood where that explosive event happened. She tells me the explosion was so loud it actually shook her home.
It was loud enough that it shook the windows, like physically shook the house.
Sarah Hall lives in this South Columbus neighborhood where just before 1:30 p.m. a large explosion could be heard and felt. Hall says she was playing with her 1-year-old at the time.
We were playing kind of peekaboo, and then he moved on to something else, and all of a sudden there was this loud boom.
Hall says at first she thought it came from the waste and recycling facility next door. But this time, even her son noticed.
Normally my son just plays through the bangs, and this time he stopped and actually started to come to me to see what was going on.
Even though hearing loud bangs are typical sounds from the facility, this time was different.
It is not exactly normal for it to shake the entire house.
Columbus Fire Battalion Chief Jeffrey Getter says crews were called to the scene just before 1:30 for a report of a fire and/or explosion in the 2300 block of South 6th Street.
When our crews arrived, they did notice a vehicle with significant damage. There was no fire or injuries at that time.
Then additional crews and officials were called in to assist.
Because of what they saw, they decided to call in our investigative team. It does appear to be an explosion of some type. Very early on in the process of determining what that is.
Multiple streets throughout the neighborhood blocked off as police investigated, along with K-9 officers, the FBI, and ATF. At one point this afternoon, police surrounded a home with guns drawn. Around 8:30 p.m., Columbus police followed a tow truck as it took the pickup involved away from the scene. All this sparking a cause for concern to those who live nearby.
But it is a little terrifying, especially because I have basically a 1-year-old.
Getter adds this is just the beginning of the investigation, and at this time, it is still too early to determine a cause. In South Columbus, Carly Dion, 10 TV News.